Alright guys, so we're getting to some news here. I'm doing this a tad late, but this really is something I felt I needed to make a video on. So what we're looking at today is a tweet by Team Dokkan. Of course, shoutouts to him and all of the French data miners. So what he's saying here is that it appears there is going to be a shared celebration on both JP and Global for the release of the Dragon Ball Super BROLY film at the end of this year, and then it will be, mid-January, I know, in the US and, around the world different times. But looks as though there is indeed going to be a shared celebration. Now, this can mean several things. Most likely, I think whatever the, Broly movie characters might end up being, Broly himself, Gogeta if he appears in the movie, Super Saiyan God, Vegeta, like all the different variations of characters we're likely to see in the movie, big Dokkan Fest, maybe they drop LRs next month. I'd say there's, especially with this info right here, there is a very, very, very high chance that these cards are going to be coming to both versions at the same time. Global may not need to wait at all. So let's, kind of translate the tweet and let's see what it says here. So Akatsuki just published the results. From what I've understood, basically, besides the fact that income has reached records over the past quarter. So basically, Akatsuki is doing the best they ever have because of the 250 million download celebration, which, if you guys remember, was a shared Global and JP celebration. Now, last year's 200 million download celebration was likewise also very profitable. So, I'm sure by now, they realize exactly how much extra revenue they're going to bring in by releasing stuff on Global and JP at the same time. If you guys have heard me talk about it, there really has not been a large power creep in Dokkan since Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta was released. You look at those initial two teams that came out, the, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta-led Fusion team, and then the Omega Shenron-led Shadow Dragon Saga team. Obviously, both have had tremendous upgrades, with LR Gogeta releasing for the Fusion team, and then, Ultra Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku coming out for the Shadow Dragon team, really solidifying both of those teams. But many people would consider the Fusion team, a top 5 category team, even though it was, essentially the first official category team that happened. There were 2 categories before Fusion and Shadow Dragon, World Tournament and Peppy Gals, but those obviously did not have true, like Dokkan Fest summonable unit leader skills. So the fact that there has not been a large power creep means these units can easily be sustained on both versions of the game at the same time. When Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta was released on JP and Global, it was at a time where Global had literally just started the 120% meta. So if they had Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Omega, that completely disintegrates that 120% meta. That's why those units had the to-be-released leader skills, whereas at the time on JP, they had actually just finished releasing all 10 of the 120% leaders. That's why Gogeta and Omega did not have their leader skills. But, look at it. By the time we get to the 250 million download celebration here, even though, JP had, some extra units that Global did not have, like, Physical Android 17, Jiren, Blue Vegeta, Ultra Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku, none of those was like a dramatic power leap where, like, a leader skills take a monster jump or anything like that. None of that was present. So these units could be released on both versions exactly in the same manner. So let's look at what released during the 250 million download celebration. Again, this is a shared celebration between Global and JP. We had the Ginyu Force event with the Piccolo and the EZA. We had this brand new launch treasure event. We had, of course, the Transforming Goku and the Transforming Frieza events with all of these cards, all of which are tremendous. I would actually say, this Frieza and this Frieza, they are absolutely insane. Kaioken Goku is really good as well, and then this Goku is really good also. He's a good defensive unit. I'd say that's what really helps us Transforming Goku out. But, very, very good new units. We had this Frieza, and then there, of course, was also a Super Saiyan Goku, which was global only. The EZA for Piccolo. We had LR Goku and Frieza. We had the Trunks, Goten, and Marin cards. All these events shared between both versions. I can see, like a Broly story event coming out, a Broly Dokkan event coming out, maybe another Broly EZA coming out. I was sort of thinking that there was a good chance these cards could come to both Global and JP, based off the fact that, if you guys remember, that Broly EZA that we had a few months back actually came out to both versions at the same time. Like here, if we head over here to events real quick, it was this right here. This, Broly event had released on both versions at the same time, which was kind of a clue that, they would do that again. They'd release the Broly stuff on both versions at the same time. Now, this is not confirmed again, guys, but I would say this is a very big clue or hint that, again, the end of December could be looking really good. Now, Dokkan followed up with a second tweet here. Now, this might, he doesn't make it super clear if this is just his thinking or if the French data miners actually know ahead of time, but he's sort of implying Christmas banner. So, I don't know. Let me just throw out a random idea. LR Ultra Instinct Goku as a Christmas banner, double rates banner, Completely made that up, but you guys, kind of get my point here. Then maybe New Year's. Traditionally, for JP, New Year's has monster hype banners. Last year was SCR Rose Goku Black and Tech Vegito Blue. So it stands to reason to me that the movie stuff could be a New Year's banner or New Year's type event. Maybe sometime on December 28th, 29th, 30th, sometime around there. I think could be very possible for the movie characters. And then, of course, we'd be going into the 4-year anniversary, which would begin at the very tail end of January. And then, on JP, we already know that there's going to be, the Dragon Ball Heroes cards are coming out later in November. Beerus has Extreme Z Awakening coming later in November, as well as the Waifu Rebirths and possible new summonable LR. So there is just going to be non-stop content coming for many months for JP, which is good because JP has had several dry spells this year. I would actually say Global hasn't really. Global, again, there were periods for JP, a month-long period where nothing happened. Global did not have that this year. They kind of strategically moved things, like they pushed Ultra Instinct Goku up on the schedule to sort of fill in a blank period that JP had. So hopefully they will continue to do things like that because, maybe if they start to see how profitable it can be for both versions to have these things released simultaneously, they might start to shave off the gap. Global is about 4 months behind JP, give or take. Usually, some stuff is released early, like Physical Android 17. Some stuff is released late, like Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta. So, about 4 months right now is where we are. Maybe in the future they could start shaving time off of that, getting closer and closer. Who knows? Maybe eventually the game could, kind of get on a simultaneous route. But for both Global and JP, it's just, closing in on 4 years. It does seem kind of crazy that they do that now. But, better late than never if they do decide to do that. So again, nothing confirmed from this video, but a big hint that the Broly movie cards could be coming to both versions at the same time. Honestly, guys, I think this is incredibly hype news, and I cannot wait. Let me know what y'all think. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time.